What's good, superstars? Back with another VeVe video. You got Superstar Joe. You got Superstar Vault in the building. Do you believe it? We got VeVe Vault on the channel for another collab. Vault, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I'm just here to beat you up because I've been wanting to punch you for like a long time, and now I got
ever since that debate night when I tried sucking up and. It ended up working a little bit. I think that the user crowd, I ended up winning, so that's why I got the collab with Vault and not Rob. That was the prize. So if you guys don't know VeVe Vault, which you guys all do, great streamer, streams every single drop on VeVe, and taught me how to do drops, taught me where to click the button. Before I was doing any of this YouTube stuff, I was watching your stuff. So really, really like honored to have you on the channel and get to talk about the daily news and do all this stuff. Like, it's awesome just even seeing VeVe Superstar Vault in the building. So really appreciate you coming through and filling in for Rob.
I appreciate you, Joe, for having me on the channel. I've been watching your guys' videos all week with all the creators that you've had on here. I think it's been awesome the way you've been collaborating with them. I've been learning a lot from all of them too. You've had like pretty much everybody on here. So I really appreciate you having me on as well. I like your guys' channel, the way you actually do some in-depth research into the numbers and such. A lot of people are big picture, but I feel like your channel and my channel and a few other channels are more about the smaller picture and about the faster gains, and other people are looking, long term. So I like that about your channel. That's why I pay attention to it a lot.
Nice. No, I appreciate that. That coming from you, it means a lot. Also, I noticed that you're not always going to be the biggest bull on a certain drop. I know there's a lot of people out there who might push every single drop, but you're honest with the viewers, which is really cool. And I know a lot of people respect you for that. Obviously, your channel's blown up. You're one of the top creators in the space, and I think people recognize what you're doing for the community. You've done a lot for everybody, and you bring them together. I see like sometimes you had like 1,000 people in the stream at once. It's crazy, right? So people know where to go when it's drop day, and we're gonna leave it at that.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you.
If you guys are new here, do not forget, become a superstar, smash the subscribe button down below, hit the bell notification so you know when we get crazy collabs like this. We got Superstar VeVe Vault in the building. Still can't believe it. Also, join the VIP, $2.99 a month in the description or underneath the video. It's the join button. You can get a nice cool star logo next to you. You can access these spreadsheets. Vault's talking about the in-depth analysis. We got some spreadsheets telling you if you should go for a drop, how much profit it is based off your price predictions. Also let you know how to sweep the floor, how much money you would need and what you would need to profit. It's really cool. We also let you know all our buys and sells, first access to merch. We got Disney mini brand giveaways. We're naming a star in the universe after one of you guys. We're trying to do it all. And also, guys, Vault does a bunch of giveaways as well. Like, I won one of his giveaways like early days when we were like 10 subscribers. I ended up winning a Vault giveaway, and he came through. He gave me the prize, so he's not a rug. you know he's legit. So shout out to all the VIP for joining. Guys, if you don't see your name, pause it. You're in there, I promise. I went through it. Yesterday I had a couple questions. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. On Twitter, you'll find our VeVe link. In the description, you'll find our Discord and our PO box if you want to send us something. So that's all our plugs. I got some more plugs for you guys because I have to. It's just he's doing me such a huge favor. So VeVe Vault on YouTube. You're already subscribed to him. I already know. But anyway, make sure that if you're just hearing about VeVe Vault, please hit the subscribe button. You'll do yourself a favor. If you just look at the videos on his page, not only does he do VeVe stuff, he does like Metaverse stuff. I seen you doing some of that stuff on what do you call it? The Oculus.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of different stuff lately. Yeah.
Yeah, and so sometimes there's no drops. It's a little bit quiet, but he still streams, so he's bringing content to you almost every day. It seems like, and it's ridiculous. Like, anytime you see one of these, you got drop day live. I'm always in there trying to, or whenever I see it, if I'm able to, I'll be in there and I'll be type into Vault. He always reads my comments out, so it's awesome.
Always.
Yeah, a lot of great. You learn a lot in there too. You'll see the community, and he has the chat up there nice and big, and he reads off all the comments. And you learn so much from like the community, and that's one of the positive things. Obviously, the community is a big thing. We're gonna get more into that as we go here. But Vault, why don't you explain a little bit about maybe how you got into VeVe, how you got into YouTube, when did you start, and what made you think to start the channel? Like, I want to know all about your VeVe journey and your YouTube journey.
All right, well, I'll try to go through it a little quick because I know I've had several interviews and everybody's heard my origin story like 100 times, so they're probably tired of hearing it. But basically, I was a baseball card collector. I worked for the United States federal government as a cartographic technician, which just means a map maker. And of course, when the pandemic hit, they sent me home to work from home. So for like the next 8 months, I was working from home. and it's kind of a boring job, I'll be honest with you. So I had all this extra time to like research, and I was starting to learn about cryptocurrency, and I hadn't quite gotten into NFTs yet. But then when I got laid off, then I was like, I really need to get into this cryptocurrency. And that's when I found NBA Top Shot, and I was just kind of dabbling with it because I love sports. But then I started getting into the cryptocurrency. I found OMI tokens, and because of Top Shot, I already knew what an NFT was. And after I joined, after I bought some OMI, I bought like 500,000 at 1 penny. So don't take my crypto advice. And then I joined all the ecomi Facebook groups, and they were all talking about the NFTs, the Todd McFarlanes and the Rizzos. So they talked me into getting into it. I'm glad I did. So that's how I started buying the collectibles right there.
Okay, cool. And YouTube just came naturally. Like, were you doing that before or after you bought OMI, before or after you bought collectibles?
I had kind of always I like video editing. It's really cool to me. Like 10 years ago, I got a free video editor, and I was just playing around with it and making UFO YouTube videos. Not like me talking or anything, just compiling them and editing them. And I had one that had like 200,000 views. So I was like, this is actually pretty cool. So whenever I was getting into those VeVe Facebook groups, they were talking about how we need more content on YouTube. Everybody should make a channel, and they're trying to get everybody to make channels. So I was like, all right, I'll do it. I got the equipment. Why not? So I just made these little goofy videos or whatever. And they promoted them. And then I started going into the Discord server, and those guys started watching them too. So, I mean, it wasn't really something that I planned on doing like a lot or really getting really heavy into it. But I enjoy it. Like I said, the video editing part of it. So, and I enjoy the community. I like the ability to provide valuable information that makes people money. I'm always thinking about what kind of content can I give you that gives you tangible value. And I feel like a lot of the other people don't really look at that whenever they're putting out their videos. They just want to convince you that they're smart. So if I feel like I'm providing a service that's valuable, so I kept on doing it.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, you've taught us how to land drops. You learn all these tips and tricks from the community. I mean, I think there was, what was it? Was it Bravo Society, or somebody had a gate where it was like you hit it at a certain time? I think it ended up fluffing off, but you tried it, right? And you're like, okay, I'm gonna try it.
It made no sense at all. But really, some of those gates, like Secret Rare Gate for comic drops, don't make sense either. But it really works. I don't know why. So I try everything. If they give me a gate, I think Cavell gave me a gate one time. It was called Recur Gate, and where right before the drop begins, he says, "If I don't get a Secret Rare, I'm leaving Recur," and it worked for him. So I was like, all right, we're gonna try Cavell's Recur. It didn't work for me that time, but it was a cool gate.
But it's funny. I mean, like there's other things that actually do work. Like for example, when there was spamming and when there was timing, and you're always on top of that, and you're always sharing that with the community when maybe a lot of people wouldn't, because they would hold that tight to their chest. But you've always been a proponent of sharing your secrets, and I think that's really cool. And I think that a lot of people really appreciate you for that, because you've helped people land drops and make some decent money, especially early on when landing a drop was guaranteed profit.
Yeah, and it was really hard to get some of those secret rares because it wasn't blind box back then. It was a while before they started doing blind boxes. So everybody went for that same one. And that one NFT was the one that's going to be worth a lot. And of course, if everybody's going for the same one, and these certain people have this trick and they're going to get it every time, that ain't fair. They're getting rich over here. They're doing it every single week. So whenever I found the trick, instead of me just getting rich every week, I'm talking to all these dudes every day in Discord, and we're the VeVe fam. So I'm going to give it to everybody.
Do you remember when you started on VeVe, the date?
I think March 19th was my first purchase of Jason Fabok Batman out of the store.
Wow. So yeah, you're really, really OG. That's wild. So, and that's fun. I mean, having the OGs on the channel has been really eye-opening. I mean, eventually one day, hopefully we get classified into that early adopter phase. I mean, once this has been out for a while, but we learned through you guys so much because you guys been through a bunch of cycles. A lot of us coming in November, October. This is our first cycle, our first bear market, and it might be a longer one just because of macroeconomics, but it's fun. Like the community aspect makes it fun, and the fact that you have something to show for whatever you purchase, even if your money goes down, you could play around with it in AR. There's different things you can do, which is better. Like if you look at your stock portfolio right now, I mean, what's happening? It's bleeding out, and you can't do anything. It's not like you can go and drive a Tesla when you own Tesla stock. It's
yeah, that's when people ask me if I'd rather spend my money on OMI tokens or NFTs. It's like I can't play with the OMI tokens. I can do stuff with the NFTs. And when it comes to like the OG stuff, it seemed like whenever that Disney Golden Moments time happened and people like you came in, I felt like all the people before that were OGs. But now at this period right now, when a bunch of people have already left, we got like everybody in VeVe right now are the OGs. And whenever we get the next pump of people, we're the OGs now, like the people that even joined during Disney Golden Moments. So I feel like that's the community.
Anybody who hung on, anybody who's hanging on,
they earned it.
Yeah, we're super early, and I think I think the people who are still here, still making content like yourself, I mean, we recognize where this is going to go, the entire space, not just VeVe, the Web3, the metaverses. I saw you posted something about the Oculus Infiniverse, I think, and you have a whole community there now that's building into there, right?
Yeah, I got a bunch of people, a bunch of homies that are in it too, because they have the Oculus Quest. It's a free app you can get into, but they have this beta inside of that app that's a metaverse that they're creating, and you can buy a property there, and the property are buildings. So if you buy a building that nobody's ever purchased from, then you have the penthouse, it's the top floor. So as other people purchase, your building gets higher and your top floor is worth more.
Oh.
So I had gotten to that really early, and I spent like $28 and it like 20x the next time I looked at it a few months later.
Jeez.
So as more people got into it, I had plenty of the gold coins to spend. So we decided to all go together and build up one of these towers really, really big, and then put the OMI logo on the top and then spell out VeVe. And then I just put in OMI in it today too. So we're going to have this building really, really tall, and it's going to say like VeVe on it so people can see it. Because a lot of people use this metaverse. There's some buildings that they've set up where they have like ETH for Ethereum and for other projects, and they have certain parts of towns that are named by placing those logos on the building. So that's what we're doing with our building. We're making a VeVe building, and we're even going to add in a store that people can visit, and it'll link them to the VeVe website and stuff to it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I never knew that. I didn't know that the building actually grew as more people joined. I thought it was like fixed and you just buy the levels, but no, that's cool.
Yeah, it does. That's how they get those ones, man. If you get in there, there's some that are like so far in the sky you can't even see because it got built up so high. Yeah.
But no, that's cool too about the neighborhoods. I didn't think like that either. Like maybe you get neighborhoods based off community projects.
That's what we're doing. We're building up the buildings beside our tower, and we're putting VeVe logos on those buildings too, even though they're smaller buildings, just to have like a VeVe city.
And like before the VeVeverse, I mean, why not? Who knows?
Yeah, and we're saying we might even do like hero on some of them, the buildings, do hero logos and bat cow logos, and just have like that whole community in there.
Yeah, I mean, when we talk, like the community is I talked about this with a lot of the guests that have been on, but the community, like VeVe doesn't have to do everything. I mean, the community can do a lot of the utility on their own, and like we can see it with clubs, or we can see it with like stuff like you guys are doing over there where you can get utility. I mean, now there's spatial where you can start to show off your stuff. I mean, this is crazy what's happening. And this is in such a short time, like even just a couple months ago, a lot of this stuff wasn't where it's at today. So, I mean, where it's going to be in a couple of years, can only imagine.
Big companies are implementing NFTs, even though, I mean, they're doing a lot for PFPs right now with Instagram and YouTube and Twitter, all allowing people to connect their wallets. They're going to be doing the same for 3D collectibles in the future. It's just that other people aren't really making the 3D collectibles, although there are companies out there like Terra Virtua, and I'd have to get into it, like Autograph.io. So there are some out there, and eventually there's going to be the same way that Twitter has implemented PFPs. Maybe video games are going to be the ones that implement the 3D NFTs, but somebody's going to implement those. It doesn't necessarily have to be VeVe.
No, it's going to be a cool future ahead for sure. And that's the one other thing I love about your channel is that you don't always only do VeVe content. Like you'll touch on other projects. I know early on you were doing a lot of Top Shot. You were even doing unboxings on that. I mean, and as someone who's never bought into Top Shot, it's just cool to watch like through your lens, like let you spend your money, and I want, you know what I mean, to see what it's about.
It's fun to opening those packs live too, because you never know when you're going to pull something good. And one of the companies I did a lot of videos for were Terra Virtua. I mentioned those a second ago. I think they're just called Virtua now, but I was actually a paid ambassador for them, is why I did so many videos. But they have a lot of really cool licenses, and they're doing comics too. And and the best thing about them is they don't keep the first 40 serial numbers. We were talking with somebody about that today. They're releasing this comic that's it's like a parallel to a DC brand that's kind of a DC comic. And somebody's like, "Oh, I'm getting #1." I was like, "Man, that'd be really cool if I could get a #1 Marvel comic."
Yeah, I know. And there was a lot of what do you call it with that Jermaine Rogers. We talked about it a couple times. I mean, at this point, it is what it is. I don't know if they're going to do anything for those people with airdrops or whatever, but I don't know. It's been something that a lot of people have talked about in the community for sure recently.
I think I was a little bit of I was with those other guys. I didn't agree with them keeping the first 40 minutes until they said that those will literally never, ever, ever hit the market. If that's the case, if they're never, ever, ever for the entire world ever going to hit the market, then they don't really exist. So 41 is #1.
And it's like, you knew there's 100 shirts, so you knew there was going to be 100 NFTs. So the supply is always going to be 100 regardless.
True.
I think it's just the number thing. Like people wanted a sub 100 mint.
Yeah,
and then some of them landed like 130. You're like,
yeah. If you gave me 136 on that, I would have been mad too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But anyway, no, that's a cool introduction for your channel. I'm going to go a little bit through the VeVe news. We like to do this every single day. And also our Twitter page. I retweeted a bunch of stuff today because I thought that you would be a great guest to comment on some of these things. So just on VeVe, they came out with a drop, this Disneyland Paris. So we've seen the Hong Kong posters. Now we're seeing some animated Disneyland Paris posters. I got more on this on our Twitter once I get to it. And also the VeVe Rumble. I've been seeing a bunch of posts. I didn't enter. Have you entered Vault?
I did a kind of a little funny thing. It wasn't. I don't plan on winning or anything. It's just a picture of David Yu versus a bot.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I seen some funny ones out there. So I think it'll be cool, especially if they like tweet out the winner or do something like that to give them.
I've seen some really good ones.
Yeah, the community is crazy. This is when you see it, when they do this type of stuff. So I'm going to scroll down here because there's a bunch of stuff. So yesterday, I showed this already, but Rob he's in Italy and he's still chiming in with us, posted a picture of the superstar constellation. I think Kobe collects is this star right here. And we're doing one at the end of the month again. So you can get into the constellation. And it's actually like you get a certificate and everything. It's actually legit. You can search your number on like the International Space Registry. So if you're in the VIP, you're automatically entered for that.
It's definitely legit. I bought a girl a star before.
Yeah, see, that's a great way. That's a great way to a great gift.
Valentine's Day gift.
So here's some of these artworks that we were talking about. So I saw this one. I thought it was really cool. Shout out Old Dirty Darth. You got Doc Ock and just every single Spider-Man around him. I think that's really cool. The fact that he owns all the Spider-Man.
Yeah, really.
In the first place. Then again, shout out to Steve Bass. He's a longtime superstar, and I love the dinos. I mean, you guys know we got them all, and he's got the one biting on the T-Rex's neck. So legit battle scene. I mean, if they're gonna talk about actual fighting, this one here shows some actual fighting. So if you guys like any of these, go like them and give them some props because hopefully they can win something. This drop I'm gonna get a little bit more into. This was cool. Shout out Nft Pirates for posting this. But we've always talked about how this space can help with, it doesn't have to just be collectibles. It can actually help with like education. So this is obviously like a AR type of function. And you've got like some kind of wearable or something that you can touch buttons, but it's showing different types of the body, like the skeleton, the nervous system, and it takes off the layers. You can move them around. So think about the future, just teaching kids in school and like the hands-on approach that you can do that. Maybe you're not going to go cut open a body, but now you kind of can, right?
No reason to dissect frogs anymore. You can just have a digital frog.
Yeah, and think about it, like you can teach people how to do surgeries and all this stuff without worrying about them killing people or that type of stuff. I mean, because it's all digital, and this is cool, man. Like
probably just even easier to learn too, because if you're dealing with like live organs and stuff, they're a little bit harder to recognize than when you got something right there in front of you and it looks exactly like it's supposed to look, that you can learn what you're supposed to learn.
Yeah, so, yeah I think you're right. For education, for school and stuff like that, like this is way cooler way to learn than reading a book. It's like if you had like a matching game or something, it's like, okay, put these skeleton in there, put everything where it goes, and then you learn. And I think that's awesome. So
you need to gamify learning. I like that.
Gamifying, exactly. That'll get the attention, especially now. Like all the kids are so technically advanced, technologically advanced.
It tells me he gets bored at school all the time. So yeah, I can see how this would definitely keep his interest.
Keeps their attention. They're gonna brag about it. They're gonna be happy. So it'll keep them learning. So shout out again to Chad for posting that. Oops, I gotta go back. So that's that. Then so this is something else that's cool. So we don't know if this is the posters officially, but VeVe Friends tweeted this, and he was asking VeVe Magic if she saw them because we know she was in Disneyland Paris, but. These are some of the posters on some of the, I guess, hoarding or whatever. I guess they're doing some construction, but kind of looks similar. Like kind of looks like the similar colors. Maybe these are things that we get on this drop. Could be some alpha. We got the Haunted Mansion. We got the Skull Rock here, and I guess I don't know if that's Space Mountain or not. Whatever it is in France, but these are a couple of posters that are in Disneyland Paris. So maybe this is what we're going to see. What do you think, Walt?
Scroll down to that original post to see if those colors match up, because it does look like those colors match up.
Yeah, so here. I think they do. So, but these are animated. That's the only thing that throws me off.
I hear you.
Because some of them are animated, and these obviously are not, but maybe they can make like the fireworks in the back or something.
I definitely like that Haunted Mansion one. I hope that's one.
Yeah, these would be cool. Even the Skull Rock. I like
too.
that.
Yeah.
So that's maybe some alpha. We don't know for sure. VeVe Wrestling, yeah, he made a VeVe ring with some lightsabers. Mac and NF Cheese is like a legend in the showrooms. I know you've had a bunch. Is that one? Is that one of his?
One, yep. I use his stuff all the time now. I just put them in my description. Background by Mac F and Cheese, and if I need a new one, I just go to his page. I don't even.
Yeah, he is unbelievable. And the fact that I love that one of the stipulations in this contest is that you can't do any post production, because he doesn't. Like, all his stuff is like, I don't know, he or she, but they place everything in a perfect position. Like, and the look, you can see like lenticular cards spelling out VeVe like in the background. It's just wild.
And like a W for like WWE, so
or that, yeah, or it could. That's true. It could be a WWE logo, but it's just, and he even like gives you the hints, like, oh, the lightsabers are here. You can kind of, it's almost like Where's Waldo, like you're deciphering what are the different aspects. I mean, you got the Star Wars poster at the top. Incredible stuff. And then one of the first ones that I noticed doing cool stuff like this. So shout out to Mac and NF Cheese. This was another thing that I saw recently. Your next trip to Universal Studios could include NFTs. The Universal theme parks in Florida and California are launching Halloween-themed scavenger hunts through NFTs starting tomorrow. So how cool is that? Like, you walk around and you collect NFTs like Pokemon Go.
And that's bullish. That's super bullish. That's fast adoption right there. They're getting it out to people. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, and then they're talking about major brands. VeVe didn't get a shout out in here, but I mean, they mentioned some of the people that I think that we've seen in these bigger NFT markets. But yeah, like, that's crazy.
Looks like I was reading a little bit. It looks like it's a scavenger hunt. You got to go to 7 different places in the park and scan it, and then you get, I guess, maybe either 7 NFTs, or if you get all 7, you get 1 NFT. That's pretty awesome.
They're going to be doing 7 million total. So I guess this is over a long period of time, and they get like tens of thousands of guests a day or whatever they get.
That edition size is high.
But this is cool. I think about anybody entering the park, they're going to be pushing this on them, and they're going to be leaving like, oh, I just got an NFT. Then they might do some research, and they might find other apps that might have big IP, might have some universal IP, VeVe. So this is bullish. Like you said, this is bullish and awesome. Like, I just saw this right before we were filming here, and I really like that. This is another one, the punch. You got the what's this guy's name? Red Skull and Human Torch kind of mixed in together, but the punch from Captain America, yeah, it's cool.
Nice.
That's a fun one. So that was that. Yeah, I really wanted to show this off. One more thing I have to show off is our buddy Omi Daily Burn gave me this next topic to talk about, but you guys got to go over to Omi Daily Burn and you got to write happy birthday on his page. I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to reply to his last tweet. You guys can go under it, but happy birthday because today is his birthday, and he's doing so much for the community, and he's bringing in he's summarizing everything. Omi, wallets. He's summarizing like the circulating supply. So all this stuff on his page, and doing it for free. Obviously, he's not hired by VeVe, and he's doing it for all of us. So go say happy birthday and thank you for all the work that he does. But he brought this to our attention. Really cool. We had the Quid CEO on not too long ago, and he brought us to the concept of mint to play, which I think is awesome. Where it's like we were asking, the question stemmed from, we asked him about ownership, because obviously big hot topic on VeVe. And he mentioned that there's like different types of ownership, which I had no idea. I thought it was just like, give me my stuff, put in my wallet, and then I own it. But instead it's, you have different types of he explained it as one type is you can take the entire file, put it in your wallet if it's like a smaller file. The other one is you get the receipt and it stays on the server. So like VeVe server will hold the animation or the JPEG or whatever. So realistically, if VeVe were to ever disappear, you'd have a receipt for a file that might not exist. So you guys have to understand that even if you have ownership, you might not have the ownership that you expect, because these files are larger. So it would depend on how they do that in the future. Maybe it happens, I don't know. And the third one was mint to play, where you take that receipt and now you can prove in a different metaverse like Sandbox, hey, I own Steve Rogers, and VeVe's collabed with Sandbox. I can go over to Sandbox, show my receipt, and now I can walk around in the Sandbox as Steve Rogers if I have that. So like, I think that's going to be the way that you see a lot of this gamification or utility. What do you think about that, Vault? And then we'll look into this, because this is a Fortnite by Marvel, which is crazy.
Yeah, I've heard you guys mention this a few times this week, and I think that's a very awesome idea. I've heard a couple other YouTubers now starting to talk about it too, and I think that's a certain way that something like Disney, if they were to create their own metaverse, and you wanted to have some kind of special privileges, and maybe that Disney Golden Moment gives you those privileges, and having that in your wallet unlocks something, maybe a skin or something that you can walk around in. Maybe you have the Elsa Golden Moment, and if you unlock it, you have it in your wallet when you enter the Disney metaverse. Now you have the Elsa skin when you walk around. So yeah,
That's
absolutely.
awesome.
I think that's great.
And think about it, like they say that certain IP doesn't want you to take stuff off of the app.
Right.
Maybe like what you just mentioned
That's
might
not
be the
thinking
way
about
that we get there, because it's their platform, it's their metaverse, and maybe that's what they're waiting for. They want that to be developed, and then they want to give utility through their collectibles, have a little bit of interoperability. That's bullish. I mean, that's bullish. This is bullish itself because Fortnite is partnering with Marvel, who has Marvel. VeVe does. So this could be something on Fortnite. Maybe Marvel, you own a Steve Rogers. Now you can link to your Fortnite account, and now you have that skin instead of having to buy it. You can prove it. So maybe that's something that comes up with. But I mean, they got. I don't know what this is here, but this is the first time I'm reading the article. But it looks like they got some type of collectibles, and Marvel's on Fortnite now. So I mean, mint to play with Fortnite would be ridiculous. I mean, imagine Spider-Man, like you can just be
huge. Well, we already have the Spider-Man skin in Fortnite. My kid has a ton of Fortnite skins. I played as Spider-Man and as Deadpool, so I'm not sure what this update
this is a different Spider-Man. It looks like.
I felt like Marvel was already on. It says Zero War though, so maybe that's some different characters. The Zero War stuff.
Yeah, it's. I think they have a bunch of other things that we have on VeVe, right? So.
Darth Vader, all that.
This would be a great example if they were to do that. Maybe this will be something earlier than the Disneyverse or whatever. But I think that the way you were talking about that makes the most sense. Like Disney doesn't want to take their stuff off because they're just waiting for their own stuff. So that's cool. I mean, I wanted to go through all that stuff, but now I want to talk to you. I know that we had a little bit of talks offline about MCP program, and I know we're expecting that's supposed to be at least an article or something end of Q3, and we're approaching end of Q3. I know that they've mentioned like, oh, it's our focus in Q3, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to get anything from it. But he did, when we had Reese on, he did say that was like their top priority. So what do you think about the MCP? When do you think it'll come? And are you planning for it? Do you purchase things based in anticipation, or are you waiting? What do you think?
I don't think I'm really purchasing things in anticipation, but I do think it's coming soon, and I want to start purchasing things in anticipation and start building up my strategy for MCP. Yep. By the end of the year, I'm like 50-50 by the end of the year that we'll have MCP. But it's something that people need to understand about the Master Collectors program is that you can't give too much stuff to the OGs, because if you give the OGs everything, every drop, you're not going to get new users in. And I think that's why they have this new system with the MCP that they've only talked about once, and haven't heard anybody else mention yet. And I think it was Dan C talking about it in an AMA, that whenever the MCP starts, you're going to have a button on your profile, and when you click that button, it's going to go and get all your retroactive points and then add it to your account. But MCP points have a shelf life of only 6 months. So you don't necessarily have to click that button as soon as the MCP program starts. Maybe all the OGs click the button as soon as it starts, they get theirs and they use it up those first 6 months. And then 6 months later, you click the button and now you get all those retroactive points, because whenever we get those retroactive points, it's for a year and we're going to have a ton of them, but they only have a 6 month shelf life. So my strategy is going to be to wait out the OGs and let them use out all their MCP points. And then whenever the next 6 months come, whatever good drops are coming, I'll have the extra MCP points to win those.
Hashtag Waitgate, right?
Yep.
And a little bit of a different. I wonder how it's going to affect market prices. I mean, because now people will be able to get them with points rather than, I guess, drops with points. I don't know. Maybe because they'll be taking a bigger portion of the drop percentage from like MCP. We hear that OUP now has these tickets, so there's going to be more reserved for these programs. Maybe it helps the prices out because less people can get into it on the drop who might not have the requirements. I know OUP is going to help the OMI token, but for MCP, maybe it's going to help like the rare comics or like stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Everybody says rare comics because that really is the smart thing to do. But in the well sense, or if you already have a bunch of the rares or you got all the cheap ones, really uncommons might be the way to go, because as cheap as they are, you can stack them. You can stack a bunch of them. And I know one guy said that he got his account disabled, then he put in a ticket and got it back. But the reason they disabled him was because he bought like 500 uncommons in one day. So
that's
well, they're stacking those in anticipation for MCP, and because they're stacking them, I'm starting to think maybe I need to start getting into those uncommons. But I like commons too. They're probably around the same price, half as many MCP points, but maybe more value because I feel like collectors are gonna gravitate towards those whenever they start building up their common collections. The commons of the original covers that people like.
This is where metadata is going to do a lot for the community. If metadata comes before MCP, you're going to start to see what the big wallets are purchasing. That's why if you hear people talk about metadata, they're talking about knowing like transparency, because blockchain technology is all about transparency. People can see where things are owned and who owns what. So once you do get that metadata, which we've been teased that will be coming, if we get it before MCP, maybe you'll be able to visually see when whales are buying and what they're buying. Are they buying into rare comics? Are they buying into uncommons? What's the goal? And I think that's going to cause a lot of FOMO because now you're going to see what people are buying.
Using that to their advantage. They might start buying something up to get everybody else to start buying.
Exactly.
So you got to.
They might start tricking people. They're like, oh yeah, you think that?
Those are smart.
There's going to be a lot of pump and dumps
right
at that point. So I don't know. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, and you guys have seen it, we've had the kitchen sink on this channel over the last 3 weeks in anticipation, obviously, for Rob to come back from Sunnymoon. And today is the last collab that I'm doing before that. So we saved Vault for the end here, and I couldn't be happier. But the whole reason for doing it, and we didn't have only the big channels on. We had some newer channels on. We've had a mix of different people from different backgrounds, and we've learned a lot from a lot of different people. And the reason we did that, and we say it in every video, is that we want this to help other channels grow, and we want the word to get out and to help integrate into the YouTube algorithm, because the more people that are searching this, the more people that find it, the better it will be for everyone's investment. So by growing all these other channels, even if just like 5-10 people from our channel find another channel, it not only is that fun because now you have extra content to watch. I mean, I'm always looking for extra content, but it also helps spread the word. And the reason I'm saying this is because this guy over here, he started a VeVe creator group, and it's headed by him. And I think old Rhubarb is helping you out a lot on that from VeVe and 3. So I just want to give a shout out to you because you're doing great things with the community as well. You've also done like a lot of collabs with the debate nights. We were on your channel. So you're doing a lot for the community in that sense as well. Like not only just giving tips, but you're talking about community and making community happen, which I think is really bullish for the space. So it was cool that you've been doing that. What made you think about doing the creator group, and what do you have any plans for it going forward?
Oh man, I wish I could say something that made me sound really good here, but it was kind of a selfish reason. I needed to find people for my debate nights, and I was tired of just messaging one person, then I gotta wait to see if they message back before I message another person, because I can't have 3 people for a debate night. So I was like, let's just get everybody in here together, and whenever I want to have somebody on my channel or a debate night, I'll just be like, who's available or who wants to do it? Yeah. And so everybody came in there, and I was like, since we got this many people in here, let's do some collabs. And we started putting together, since we have old Rhubarb, VeVe and 3. He's a great editor. So, and he said he didn't mind doing the editing. So I just sent him all the stuff and he does the editing. So the last thing we did was that 100 gem 3-month challenge. And we had quite a lot of people who participated. We're going to come back, revisit in 3 months. I might update it every month and see who made the most profits from their picks.
Yeah. So no, that's definitely fun. And I'm loving that you're coming up with all these new themes and different topics, and hopefully it keeps going forward. I know you have a requirement for joining the group, because I know there's probably other creators out there that are watching that might not be in there yet. I know there's a limited capacity. I don't know how many people are in there, and Twitter has like rules and stuff, but why don't you go over a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's the limit's 50 people in there. I think we already have like 38-ish, but some people don't participate, so maybe we'll have some leave, or if any other people want to join. The only requirement is that you have at least 100 subscribers on YouTube. That's it.
Yeah, and if you DM us, we'll get you in touch with Vault. I mean, we've made it happen for a couple other creators in the last couple of days, which we really enjoy. I'm sure that some of them in there never met them, and hopefully it helps everybody grow. I mean, there's so many in there you can bounce ideas off. All you got to do is throw out an idea, like, what do you think about this? How do you think this will be taken? So just so you guys know, like, the creators are talking in the background as well to try and bring out the best type of content for you guys watching. And a big thanks to Vault for getting that going, and Corey from VeVe and 3 for editing and all that stuff. So definitely go check out those videos. I think you guys are starting to call them the VVGC or whatever.
That's Corey, man. I didn't even have a name for it or nothing, but he made this whole graphic. It said VVGC. I was like, all right, I guess that's what we're called then. I didn't even know.
Did you see his submission for the Rumble?
I don't think I did see it yet.
He did a video. It was like Mortal Kombat, and he put Elektra versus Sue Storm, and and they were fighting. I'm like, how does he do this stuff? I don't understand how he does it, but I know he doesn't sleep. That's for sure.
That's true.
So Vault, I mean, really appreciate you coming on again. It's been a pleasure for you to bless us, and obviously, like I said, been a longtime fan of your work and your channel. So I have to give you a standing ovation for coming through.
I was hoping I'd get one. I seen you give everybody else standing ovations. I was hoping I'd earn one today, and I'm still waiting for my Superstar Money hat. I ordered one of those, and I'm excited about getting. They're limited to like 50, right?
We only have 20. So 20. We had 20. You're in the super limited. They're in my box over here. I had COVID or whatever over the last couple of weeks. I didn't touch them. I didn't want to get near them. So I'm ready to start doing that. I know Rob collected a lot of the information. I don't know if you filled that out, but we're gonna once he's back. Like I'm just waiting for him to be back because he was kind of spearheading the merch. But cool. I want to give a little bit of a update because this, like I said, last collab for me. Rob's not back until I think the 27th or 28th. Tomorrow I'll do a one-off by myself, and then we got a couple things happening the days after that, and then Rob will be back. So there's not going to be a reunion. Like we're not reuniting until I'm back. I'm going on holiday for like a week, so it's going to be fun to take a little bit of a break. It's been wild keeping up with it. I mean, even today I was like an hour late for Vault. I felt bad, but it's just like it's the time. It's what's happening, and I was so grateful that you waited around for this. I mean. So definitely, again, make sure that you guys are subscribed to VeVe Vault this way. I never point this way. VeVe Vault, and just definitely do yourself the favor. Watch the drop streams. Learn about it. Watch all the other creators. If you see them and you like them, they always do like little clips on those things. And if you like them, go support them as well. I mean, it's a big, nice community, and we're all trying to help one another out and help each other grow. And Vault's always giving us shout outs on his channel, so we got to definitely return the favor. Yeah. So I guess we can do that. We can also subscribe, become a superstar, hit the subscribe button in the description or underneath the video. Man, I'm tired. You can also become a VIP for $2.99 a month and get all those crazy perks we talk about at the beginning that Alex G loves to hear every single video. So guys, we'll see you in the next one. I love you. Bye. Later.